Holbrook is getting lit up today about all that stuff. And the reason why Holbrook's getting lit up, and the reason why fans were going nuts, and the reason why Davey Martinez was going nuts, and they had a right to go nuts, is because, and I'm going to be consistent here, baseball does not require their umpires to do what the NFL and the NHL does, which is get on a microphone and explain what the hell is going on to everybody in the stadium and everybody sitting at home. They don't require them to do it, and it leads to a holy heck of a mess. Now then, at least they've got the right guy as chief baseball officer to go on the air after the game and explain it. He's a Hall of Famer, and he's also a former broadcaster in Joe Torre. The guy knows how to talk to the media, he knows how to explain things, and he knows how to do it calmly, and he did it with Ken Rosenthal afterwards. This is what he said when he explained to Ken Rosenthal. Okay. He said to Ken Rosenthal after the game that essentially the guy was not in the baseline properly, and he's out. And Holbrook made the call. And the reason why the call got made is because he did contact the glove. Period. Just what I told you. He contacted the glove. And you know the glove contacted him. He's not in the right spot. And I understand that runners are never in the right spot. They're never in the right spot. You could go all throughout last night's Game 7 and seeing every runner run the same way that Turner did. Every time.
Right. If this is the issue, then they need to do what they do in college rec softball, is put the orange base on the outside.
Which is what I think Kyle Schwarber tweeted out last night. Put the orange base on the outside.
Have a base to run to.
Right, have a base to run to. That might fix it. But again, the fix is to explain what the hell is happening. Because if you're sitting there at home, like the rest of us, and you're seeing this happen out of the blue, and you just see an umpire point to a base, that guy goes here, this guy is out. You're confused. Here is Torre after the game.
He ran, there's a 45-foot restraining line where you're supposed to run as a base runner in between those lines. He ran to first base. That wasn't the call. The call was the fact that he interfered with Gurriel trying to catch the ball. You notice the glove came off his hand. That's when Sam Holbrook called him out for basically interference.
Why isn't that play reviewable?
It's a judgment call, that's why. And there are no judgment calls. Like if it's somebody's in a rundown between first and second, and it's the same thing. If interference is called, it's a judgment, so it's not reviewable.
All right, so let's take this one step at a time. He got called out because, yes, the contact was made with the glove. It's not reviewable because it's a judgment call. Well, hold on a second. It's a judgment call that can be reviewed to see, is he in the baseline or not?
Right.
Is he in the lane or not? Can it be interpreted that he was out of the lane the entire time, but when he hit the bag, he was, by rule, close enough? And I don't want to read the rule, but they basically say there is some leeway about whether you're in the lane or not. Right. How the hell is that not reviewable? Certainly if the play's already been played out, in the same way that the NFL will not blow the whistle, let the play get played out, look at it under review, and say after further review, we saw that he was close enough in the baseline. Play stance is called, second and third. What's wrong with that? No, it's not reviewable for whatever reason, because it's viewed as a judgment call. Well, it was a judgment after the fact when it involved an actual line and an actual foot that an actual replay could help us adjudicate. Place that aside. So then if it's not reviewable, why the hell are they under headsets? Again, this could all be explained in real time, but it wasn't. Had to wait till afterwards, till Joe Torre explains it. Roll tape on that one.
They went to headset. Davey was really out of control for a bit when he was yelling at Sam Holbrook. And they went to the headset just to, making sure that, everything that they were telling him was double checked. So they went to the headset and they told him, right back that, it's a judgment call. And he made the right call at first base. And that it was not protestable because it was a judgment call and you can't protest a judgment.
What was Davey's point of view?
Davey just wasn't agreeing. The last thing we tell the managers when we have our meeting before game one is if you think that there was a rule that wasn't interpreted properly, you have the right to ask the umpire to go to the headset. And that's basically what they did. He was asking them to go to the headset, and that's basically what they did.
Oh, my gosh. All right, let me help my Major League Baseball. And I'm sure all my buddies in Major League Baseball said we don't need the help. But let me help you out here. If it's not reviewable and you can't go to the headset, don't go to the headset. It confuses the hell out of everybody. And if a manager thinks that a ruling wasn't properly interpreted in real time, it doesn't matter if it's a judgment call. That's where the protest can come in. Instead of basically saying, you know what, if you think we didn't get it right and it's not reviewable and it's not protestable, just have them go to the headset. So everybody in America can think we don't know what the hell we're doing because we have already heard from the announcers it's not reviewable. So you're sitting at home saying, do they even know what the hell they're doing? Which makes sense. Then Davey Martinez gets ejected because I would get ejected too. Doesn't matter if you're a Game 6. I'd go Bobby Cox on steroids, which is what Davey Martinez did. And by the way, Bobby Cox, last manager to get thrown out of a World Series, and happened to be in Game 6 of the 1996 World Series. Again, John Smoltz joins us top of the next hour. So Davey Martinez has been told it's not protestable, it's not reviewable, but we'll go under the headsets because that's what baseball told you you could ask for, and we come back and tell you the same damn thing. And that's when he goes crazy. And you come out of a commercial break, you're sitting at home, and you have no idea because an umpire doesn't say, by rule, if contact is made with the glove, regardless of where you might be, if you are certain spot on the baseline, it's runner interference. Play stands is called. Turn off a microphone, go back behind home plate, and tell Davey Martinez you can protest it. What's wrong with that? Why can't umpire? And by the way, an umpire needs to go under the hood to ask somebody back in New York City to read him the rule book? Davey, this is our judgment. This is a judgment call. By rule, you may not review it. You may not protest it. We are sorry. We see it this way. You go back. Or baseball changes it. By rule, you may protest it, but we cannot review it. You must go back. Let me get on to the microphone to explain to everybody sitting here in Minute Maid Park that's wondering what's going on. And let me explain to everybody at home. The number of times that you see an NFL coach be told by a referee, can't challenge that coach. Not like, okay, it's not challengeable, it's not reviewable, Bill, but here's what we're going to do. You want us to double check?
We're going to check.
Yeah, here's what we're going to do. We'll go under the hood and make everyone in America in the stadium think that we're reviewing something that we know is not reviewable. Let's go into the headset. Yeah, Bill, we just checked with Al Riveron back in New York. Yeah, it's a no-go. And we're not going to tell anybody in the stadium or at anybody at home what the hell's going on. Could you imagine if the NFL did that? Could you imagine if the NFL did that in the fourth quarter of a Super Bowl, which technically Game 6 is for a World Series? Could you imagine if the NFL did what Major League Baseball did last night? Oh, my gosh. They might have to buy Greenland to send Roger Goodell to it.
For more of The Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live or download the Rich Eisen Show app.